Good evening, family. This is Mohamed Tyrell, the CEO for Voice of SALONE Network. Today, Friday, the 20th of December 2019. We all don't come back today, and as when I watch the headlines, we get putting for talk about. But you know, one of them is we talk about something extremely serious, about something we get for do with the country and how the money business now we country and the government send the help for one we country. As we all know, people know on social media, and I believe most of the people in back way, even on social media, yeah, but what happened about the auditing report will come out then 2 days here. And no matter which political party you there, you see we agree say then reports are not good for the country. Then number them where we see if they're very alarming and if they're very tough. So today we're there for discourse. Now we can talk about waiting the newspaper at the country. Then they say about that money there, where then say a loss in the country, or they never account for, or people that misappropriate anyhow want for use, whichever language you want for use. Either way we call them something wrong with the money where we raise in the country, and so the money the way people then give it out of their own taxpayer in pocket. For that we will take care of ourselves and take care of our country. So today, as soon as I see the headlines, we can't talk about what's in newspaper in our salon first. Say about what's in the go on, and then we will then continue to get a discussion about what's happened. We get for read few things in the report, for let we say get small understanding about what's happened, and what's in the report tell we where Madam Lara puts together for tell salon people them say well now that in team don't find out we then go audit. We almost say one of the biggest thing at salon now corruption. We all know say any country where it corrupt, it not go ever better. I don't care what I put inside it. Nothing will go forward. So tonight, we therefore we can talk about waiting the report say. But first we go start like I say, we'll start the newspaper then first and see which newspaper then say in the country. And after which we will also talk about waiting the big people in the country, some of the big people and how they react to them, waiting NCFC and some of the press release that we then release. After that, I will open the phone lines then for make Una so that I will hear from Una. Because today, I make Una do most of the talking. I want to hear from Una, make what's your perception or what you want to feel about what's happening in the country. And as I say, this is what we talk as a country, not to more about party, but a lot of focus as a one salon people and ask yourself some serious questions and say, what happened? Why make we country they go inside this hole every time? And how we able to take them out of this hole and change the direction for go towards the right way? I believe so we're not able to do that if we bash, and we not come with ideas or talk about the main thing the way they cause the problem. So what I will do first, I will ask the technical team, let them go ahead first and give you some of the headlines in the newspaper and first in the country. Anyhow, I look at the newspaper, the headlines they don't look good. So I just going to warn you now because it look like say, and that's fair because anybody watch what happened, the amount of money we lost, 141 billion leons, where it is somewhat close to $17 million for country like a war poor. Obviously, the headline will be good. So I got the technical team, made them go ahead first and start for sure with a few headlines then. All right. So as I said, it's right now, this is not the how. And this paper now today come out Friday the 20th. As I say, tsunami hit Salone. And for people that don't know tsunami, now where water don't rise, that big water where they can clear everybody, where they clear house, motor car, people them, and kill plenty of people them, and they mean by tsunami. So then say tsunami hits Sierra Leone, 140 billion chopped. So they can say there's somebody eat them. The question I got for the as we go on this program, who that chop the money? Who that they eat them? Who said they eat them? How much they eat? So as soon as they see that on the screen right now, the how, but that's then say. So then question that we wait for the ask and answer as we go. We will begin read some things to one for tell one exactly what in the report say. And this is a big allegation. When says somebody eats government money, and the country no say the president and in all administration they will say they can't fight against corruption. So if they chop this money out, obviously we all know so we had then they can open like multi for truth. Then we get for know whether they chop this money, when they chop her, and how they chop her. So again, we can now go to the next. I will ask me go to the next one. Yeah, this another one, the newspaper where they call on the Future newspaper. Again, this one's back now today, Friday the 30th. I mean, sorry, Friday the 20th of 2019. People, I'm sorry because I had me at one right now what is the figure here. Then if I watch the headline and say as audit reports uncovered ruthless corruption, Sierra Leone moved from IAMPs to chief IAMPs. It's Sierra Leone failing the nation. It's SAPP failing the nation. So this one obviously in points and directly to the administration right now in power. Say if what they do when they fail the nation because of the amount of money where they say a loss. Like I say, we got for continue, we got for can read some parts of the reports, and so people will get an idea about what this report is about, and then what we need for you as a country for make sure so we go on the right information what we get. Like I say, we're not there for put one party over the other person. No, we stand there for Sierra Leone. We in a salon, we stand there for a salon we fight for. We're not there for because of political party. We're not that timely because salon bigger than anything else. So again, like how we say, we go like how this stuff say, then say if this administration had failed the country because of then self part of the administration, it's about them come from 2018 to now, money lost under them. So that's the question they ask. I believe so we all go answer that as we continue, whether or yes or no. So I've got one more newspaper where I want to go to back before I jump into the next stuff and begin for it to waiting and say some of the part of the report. The report is about 300 and some pages, and so we're not going to go through all of them, but we go just break some few things and move inside it. We know say this discussion will continue for days and days and months and probably years until we figure out exactly what happened and the people that will take the money if they're able to pay for that. So now let me get to another newspaper within the Awareness Times. Emergence of super IAMPs as major bombshell drop in 2018 audit report. 141 billion lost and 257 billion put in suspect deals. Wow. This one obviously you got plenty for dissect. But look at this IAMP term now the newspaper them. And we all know see people they know Creole, they know see the word IAMP. Now, not a small thief man. IAMP young kind of thief man, that thief man with the total always go with them. So obviously 141 billion not to pick money. for we country in level, not to pick money that one day. So, like I said tonight, we can't get the reports. We break the report small, and know what's in the reports. But before I start the report, I let people know, say, because I do on social media, and most of them know that we do on social media most of the time. Boku in the way people both sides are the same, because I'm not for try for defending party. Then forget say this is not about political party business. It's not about SALONE. But like I say, I go say more of that where they do me closing. But one thing I want people to understand, say this report not cover 2014, 15, 16, or 17. This report mainly cover 2018. They use other years and they for make comparison between the reports that they get by them and the studies to this 2018. So now one thing I want for people to understand, this report, according to, if you read the first page where Dr. Pierce talk about, Ms. Pierce talk about, it tells we say this report mainly cover 2018. Most of the things that I reported in 2018 more than cover. Again, I will continue to say that. If we say first, as soon as we say in picture the first thing we're talking, I want to tell people. And secondly, this report cover two administrations. Then. The report cover some of APC and some of SAPP. So I want to put that back there. APC made till April. After the election, all the things happened, the activities happened there. This report covers some of the activities in there. Then after April, take to the end, so December 31st, what the SAPP do, it cover them back as well. So this report, it cover both administrations there, just for put that back and people understand. Now, I will see if the team will have a get through some of the reports the more we get, or the newspaper, because we get one newspaper where now the Telegraph. The Telegraph usually in a newspaper where we know now one of the people in way they're more independent. They don't belong to political party them. So them break the numbers and down for we in the area they wouldn't know say the money loss. So it will fine for me, then put them up for me. Then me and Una will go to them slowly, and then we read them as we go. Then we'll see what in them say. And from the newspaper now, we all go talk about the money them and the figures the way they did, and how they break them down. Say each area, the department, then lost the money. So as soon as the Telegraph, or the heading, when I see the heading, they say 141 billion euros missing in the government account. So that the Auditor General said that one day, the money missing at the Auditor General account. In the government account, sorry, say 141 billion leons missing in government account, say the Auditor General. So this one not to me to talk more. This one the posting where the government they pay in your job only for audit from January 1 to December 31st. We don't know audit the year, and the following year they go after they don't do everything, go to Parliament and everything unclear, then they publish the report. So we just want people to know this not to just an ordinary person put them together. It's now our old team and a big team. We don't do and done. You go to because the Parliament get for table the whole thing. Then we all continue now for next to know what's in the day. And luckily, I not see one person will come after his reports here come out. We talk say this woman a lie. Right? I not see one person will come out say this woman lie. So they all praise the woman work. The woman it only from 2016. So most of the reports they only pull them every year. So just while we give kudos to them and team say they do a very good job, and we'll not get to one person to accuse and say, hey, this is my life at you. No. So now let we move on. Now we'll pull them up for me. Now one of them days is where I miss the former CEO because I know see we come to the NT then number and you side in this way it can service scatter. But I would try me on level best for make sure say I give you most of the information the way I get and how we able to do them. Excuse me. So as we all see, the reports they released them into December 2018, were about 2 days ago, and the reports say this the 2018 report again, the 2018 report of SALONE Audit General. The lady named Mrs. Lara Taylor Pierce, which was today tabled in Parliament, makes for one unpleasant reading. Because they say, if you watch that money day, and the things say within day, obviously nobody they read this one a gladdy. You know, the hidden kind here, you happy about it. So anybody read them. If anybody read this one, you get pleasure in reading this one, something wrong with you. Because you really know say something the country for let go before, then it's not supposed to happen. So let me go back to the article. All right. So I said according to the 389 pages report, like all previous reports on financial management of the country by successful governments, there's a huge hole in the current government account. 141 billion leons cash is missing and accounted for. From them, I not say most of we land book, but what make they do this is read and slowly and say some things in a Creole, because we get radio stations and now in a salon in the broadcast and show ya. So we want to make the layman everybody in a village understand what the NTR mean, what the money mean, and how the money lost and how they go. Because once we get for be careful with our salon, the political propaganda too much. So the more we educate people and the not the layman at the village, the more we do better for salon. So when I bear with me where they try for explaining a career, I know say plenty people they understand, but they wanna bear with me because so when people in the village, then if family say understand what's happening, what is the report here to say. All right. So the Auditor General report is for the entire year ending December 2018. President Bio and his government were elected in March 2018. So like I say, from January to March, the report covers some of the area in there where APC media in power. After March, April, where SAP come to December, instead cover that area there. So as we continue, we find out in 3 to 4 months, the other administration, the previous administration will get, and this one, SAP get 8 months into this report. So let me continue. So there are questions. These are the questions now being asked about President Bio's commitments to good governance, strict and prudent financial management, transparency, and accountability. So the therefore tell we now say the president will say they can't fight corruption. For this 8 months here, and some of them money we not say. People then want to know how much this president they get for fight this corruption. And also the accountability, like say if anybody will take up, if I account for them, or what they for do today, then we account for them. So let me continue. So one of the first pronouncements President Bio announced from Parliament, from State House after he was sworn in last year, using his executive power, was a range of financial management measures across government, which he said we are aimed at plugging financial leakage. From the finding of today's for the finding of today's report, it is obvious that those measures were not working. So the report the tell we say President Bio where it take power, where it come na power, it tell we say where it can block plenty leakage them, so people are not able to thief money at the country. But from this amount of money we don't see, then the feel say, according to the paper, then I feel say the president in leakage, the way they block the leakages in the work, because for them different kind of money, big money like that, then say doubt say if they are stop the work. So let me go because I try for let me put on the screen. But supporters of the government are blaming the former government of President Nkrumah for the missing 141 billion leons. It is in its executive summary. The report says losses in respect of cash irregularities identified in the course of our audits amounted to 140.9 billion. Those losses are in respect of ministries, departments, and agency. So if you see the word MDA in the report, I don't tell them, they mean the ministries, them, departments, and agency. And also if you see the word PE, it means public enterprises. And then the word, and if you see like LEs, that means local councils. And so some suddenly they show you the full word, then just they put abbreviations and if let you know what's in the mean. And then they say, and what makes it even worse, it is that those losses do not include cash irregularities from embassies and other diplomatic missions, the report found it. So make us stop now for quick and explain this. Their money with their loss. They only talk about the ministries, them, government departments, and public sectors. Them. Their money are not include the embassies them around the world. So if they add their own day, obviously, this is not a big disaster. So then talk say because of that, this not just now what's happened within the country. If we begin going outside the ambassadors, them and the other diplomatic people that went around where they give their money, if they add their own day to this one, we go not to cry now, we cry. I think so. We just go to the bank as soon as I can cover we. But let me continue as we go because we get a long day today. But again, before I say that, according to the report, and say this administration, according to this report, and say they don't want to take most of the blame, then the type of blame that the APC government saying that they more thief more of this money. But according to the auditor, increasing both governments then because now one whole full year reports this one. And 56.2 billion years of the cash loss and irregularities took place across ministries, departments, and agencies, and were mainly attributed to the following by auditor office. So the money we lost in the department about 56.2 billion. So unsupported payments. So like when somebody said, "I don't go pay people," and then check them, in our match. And revenue at banks. So the money that the government see them getting at the bank, them, the connect. Irregularities in payment of salaries to staff. So money and say don't pay some staff them. We then go check them and find out say equal, regular, also go the way they tell and say if I go. Statutory deduction not paid to the appropriate authorities. So money then tells if I go pay this post here or get that post here, they find out say that money don't reach the people, they wouldn't forgive them. Irregularities in payment of DSAs and other allowance. So again, unexplained expenditure payments without approval and expenditures. This one money way I think somebody may estimate around 30 billion leons. That money way parliament's not approved. We then find out say somebody, I think the Minister of the Finance, they go take money when they use with every money we know so they get budgets here. Then they allocate that budget to everybody, every ministry in this money that would give on every year for make on use. Then can finance say 30 billion of that money they parliament don't approve them at all. Nobody is supposed to touch them. So they use that money back. So they add that money back to this one, we all come up to that 141 billion there. So there we go. So fuel not accounted for. Most of the ministers them and the parliamentarian them who can give them fuel and the motor car them. So they feel and they either the money or they feel them boku loss. Impress not retired. Again, I know see this impress don't come up again. Where the president travel in expenditure and anything at the impress when they come for can't tell we how they spend the money. So the money are where the big people that travel, where they left the country, where the per diem and everything included in them. So when they tell where they not use the money, they're supposed to return them back. They're not return to their money then they. But then I say the auditing report find out that money they not use all that money there. They're not going to put them back at the bank account. They're supposed to put them. Let me continue. So most of the losses across MDAs were found in various transactions, such as irregularities in payments of salaries. So the one in not pay salaries, they match. Where the money not match. They don't pay teachers, then pay police, then pay soldier man, then the difference we then watch to waiting and pay and waiting and find out that the bank say a loss about 4,384,950,940 leons. Irregularity in payments for travels, DSA and other allowance. So this one like we then the travel like that part they talk about the allowance and they give them, we're not giving return at the bank. Then find out in 1,528,298,810 leons now in loss there. And unsupported payments and other funds not accounted for. So like people always don't go pay people, don't go pay teacher then go check them. Then when they match. Now about 18,708,699,304 on expenditure, payments without approval and expenditures return not submitted. So like what they say, some of them here and money we not give them, or some people then go pay some side where they not use all the payment to and supposed to take that money back and go put them back inside the bank for the next payment. That money back they not see them. So that one about 22,667,935,226 leons. Impress now retired. And then the fuel will now account for now about 2,704,734,000. And the revenue not banked and other revenue related issues. we're now about 2,440,447,492. Statutory deduction not paid to the relevant authorities. So money the way they're supposed to pay people, and people that say, "We'll not get the money, or they not pay, we'll not get to we pay this month." That money they now 2,946 million. So, and then stores and fixed assets regulation regulatory was the 107 billion. So all the money I don't call, so none of the way now just in million. These are all B with a billion with a B. So not a small money for SALONE, even though the currency not that strong, but we all know what a million they do now SALONE. For let it go to a billion level, we all know this is not big corruption, not big money. Not to for we on level side, the average person they make less than $1 a day. Now a country, also picking the go na bed, they don't eat. Plenty people never get school fees. Plenty people never buy book for the picking or buy shoes or buy uniform for them. We say they call billion, not to pick money. So anyhow you look at them, it not sound good. Now bad corruption, but then people are already dance for not eat. So let me go back and continue this report. So they say, but what is even more alarming, according to the report, is 8. In addition to the above cash loss, we found out that payment for goods, works, and services, which amount to 2.5 billion leons, were supported by adequate documentation. On receipt payments. So some of them payments how they talk about. So there were people that were no longer work, but when they say we don't pay them, people they're not getting receipts for sure. So this money we pay them. So this means that some of the requested support documents in respect of this payment were not submitted for our view. So this one I just called, there's a chance they're not taken. But when they come audit them, like anybody where they work in a big company, we know in the audit and they give time so they can audit you, get all the documents then ready. If the audit team come, you not submit some documents then they for sure say yes, you use that money they obviously not only one conclusion they make say you not use the money the way you're supposed to use it. Now that make you never get no documentation for proof say you use that money that way say you use it. So they know. So they want to we now say the way they want the office, the people don't be presenter. The people that say them pay where now ghost people that pay now or they put it in pockets now or whatever way documents them in the way it shows say yes, this money we keep people. We pay the people for pay. You know what I mean? So we all know what I mean. They create what they for them. So I will left and for now we'll move on to the next one. So we also observe several significant lapses in the procurement of goods, work, and services, which amount to 257.1 billion. Procurements in a way, then it's only for go buy like ammunition, school material, motor cardim, the way government for use. So procurements are the thing and the way government they give them money every month. Let me say for one SALONE ammunition. The person they give the money for go buy the ammunition, now that job and do. So for the goods, for the services, there are then different departments then every year. They also say they need computers and for Minister of Works. They get forget that money they when they go buy them. That one back instead of loss. So it says this might have been due to a lack of commitment on the part of the MDS to ensure compliances with the rules and regulation governing the procurement process. This practice does not ensure transparency. People pull them up small for me. Okay, in the procurement process. So like I just said just now, if you not follow the regulations, then all until like where I go buy something in a market, if I buy one motor car, the money I buy, the amount of money I buy the motor car. I'll just go an example. Then boss them go buy every single boss, then for sure how much they buy them, how much they pay for ship on a SALONE, and how much they clear them. So the total amount of that boss, where they come for audit and for able to give them the full amount. If I not give them that full amount, that means there's something wrong, which this we didn't tell them. So now that's the time for saying this report. Let's get back to the report. So this massive loss of cash is also reported by the Auditor General across public enterprises, commission and donor fund projects. So again, this is another set of side and back into about the public enterprises then money people in the give all in general and virtually across all the public enterprises and commissions. Several cash irregularities were observed, giving rise to a loss of 66.3 billion leons. The significant matters identified in the audit examination fall into the following areas: unexplained expenditures, unsupported payments, statutory deduction not paid, and revenue not paid into the consolidated fund, the government bank account. So when they put all in here together, money that we never explain by how they spend them, money that way they not put back in the bank when I'm supposed to put, money where somebody say I don't spend, they don't spend on that way they, money so way, then so don't pay people and more people and can't stop say, hey, nobody not pay me. Then in sum up to that amounts they were adjusted when just now. So the report long, so I try for rush so we'll try to get to now. So according to the report, this 66.3 billion cash losses around public enterprises and commissions is made up to the following: irregularities in payment of salaries and our benefit. So this one about 1,095,407,869 leons. Unsupported payments and other funds not accounted for. So the other say people in the neighborhood show that then about 33 billion 885,862 885,862,560 leons. Unexplained and ineligible excess expenditure, like we then go pay too much. We then say something then go buy 5 leons, they so buy 20 leons. So we then check the price for that in the money with that difference in about 1,598,804,031 leons. Again, the money are too big. Revenue not banked and other revenue related issues. So money then say, well, we're not going to tell them, so go put them back in a bank. They're not financing money in a bank. Now about 16 billion 283,953,000 leons, and then the statutory deduction not paid to the relevant authorities. So money they for working to the people them, like somebody will get contract, they don't work for government done, they can't finance them all up, people not getting money for give them. They're about 7,434,559,850 leons. So from with them, I know we get long way for go, but I go stop now with the article. And now what I will do is that like where I say one good thing where it happened where I gladly nobody from both governments, from the APC to the SAPP administration, nobody not come say it, then lie we. So I will ask the team made them pull the ACC boss in your press release. We, according to what he say, well, yeah, yesterday they fully say, yes, we don't see this money, it all lost. We go can do an investigation now for know the people where they're responsible. We don't know if they take them or not, we don't know how they lost the money, but we go ask them and give it time, for we go after them. And they ask the team for them to pull a report for me, so we all go look at them and see, we go read them, and I will explain to them waiting, then send the report. So that owners have go understand within the mild defect corruption when Ben Kaifala say about this money. So, but one thing I go tell no more, then no deny. Nobody deny say it. This now this report here in or two. So okay. So if they watch the screen right now, the reports now they say ACC commence examination of audit reports on the public account of Sierra Leone. So the ACC Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, which is ACC, which is to inform the general public that it has commenced examination on the Auditor General's report for the financial year ended 31st December 2018, conducted by the Audit Service Sierra Leone and tabled before Parliament yesterday. So basically, as I was say, they said aware of this one, and the woman don't do in auditing, and now in the China for they don't put them before Parliament. So the ACC noted the ACC notes and welcomes the ongoing public interest and debate on the said report. Let's see if I will get them. Okay, the ACC notes and welcome the ongoing public interest and debate on the said report. on the management of public and donor funds in Sierra Leone. So, like, according to the mighty fight corruption, say the ACC themselves don't know, and they welcome this study happen. So, and then also we only can talk about it right now. So, this report here, then we'll go to them and watch them and see what's in the day, and then say then go follow. What's the money then go, and then we'll see them go get the money back and get them back to the people the way they deserve the money. So let me continue. As the institution changes, as the institution charged with the responsibility of enforcing accountability in public life, the ACC is now examining the, let me see, a first report, which the view, okay, I will try to read that from your own screen now because that screen looked a little bit blurry. So make us see. Okay, report with a view of ascertain any branches of the Anti-Corruption Act of 2000 or need for intervention by the ACC at this stage, and or identify system lapses within the auditor institutions for appropriate actions. The Commission is also cognizant of the role of Parliament regarding this issue, and it shall be collaborating with same in the interest of prudent financial management of the country. So again, make I just become it already. My screen look blurry, and in terms of just basically what in terms of say is that the ACC, they're not aware of this one. Then work with Parliament for make them go tell them the areas and what they need for go, and also then for go after the people then. So they want to make people impatient with them small. Because they are now give it time. Now we look into this report here, and now we go investigate the people and we then touch this money, or we then misplace the money, or we then not use it, we then for use them. So not to all manner say them physically thief, but they want to know why the money not they say for the and why the money lost. And at the end of the day, then say according to the report, the ACC boss talk say they will go after anybody. They don't care which party you belong, within a position of government, or also you come out within a tribe, or which within you name. No, if you touch that money, then go believe they will come after you with the power and not invest in them. So I go try for stop now because like I said tonight, I go want for you most often now. So I go ask for them open the phone lines and look I get on your take about waiting when I think about this money away loss. And how when I feel say we able to stop this or make it happen again, or try for minimize them, and how Salone will move forward. And any concern when I get today at the day, I don't want to talk about who, I want to make Una do most of the talking. We don't get the number them out, and until we get more of the reports, we will make sure say we go on back as we go because this is just starts. I promise you, so we get a long, long way for go. And after the phone calls, then because they try for do the show under 2 hours, and then we will come and give me closing remarks about what you think about what happened, and also we go from here. So I will ask the technical team if they not get any what you say about try for to welcome people in quick on the phone, then I will jump to the phone calls and then as soon as they're coming. So Mr. Mamadou Bonos they watch, Mr. Abubakar also Mamadou watch from Australia, Mr. Abubakar they watch. Welcome to the show, Ms. Daniela. Cool, also they watch, and Biology also they watch. They welcome. Hello, VS family. Welcome, Mr. Jallo. Mr. Mamadou say hi, VS family. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mamadou. And then Mr. Alma himself they watch. Say welcome. And my sister, Miss Abi Kamara, say hi, everyone, viewers, family, and friends. Today is my birthday, and I hope all of you have a blessed day. Happy birthday to you, Madam Abi. We wish you God life and God's richest blessing. We hope say 2020 will be a better year for you. So happy birthday again, with sister, and one of the regular sister that we every day in our viewers. And also, Lamin Denke say Mama Salone is mad because wicked politicians are focusing on siphonning state fund to their. And also, Mr. Ibrahim, Mr. Ibrahim from California, they watch. It's a hi viewers. And then Mr. Abi say, wow, please help us people in Sierra Leone. Mr. Sir Joseph Bakiwa, they watch, and he replied to Okay, reply to Mr. Joseph. He said, tell us about it. Again, guys, sorry if I miss you comment. Sometimes if you not a friend or if not put a comment, sometimes can okay, the screen, your screen can skip them. So there, if I skip you comment in any way, I don't mean for do them. So now we are not see them na my own feed, all right? So they are big. If I not see them, Mr. Bakiwa say, viewers, which year are you telling us? This one are for 2018. Now this one you come out a couple of days ago. Mr. Abraham said, Mother Bio knows what is going on about the systematic and unscriptures embezzlement, but he cares less about it. The ministries are all in a Mandizing network to wreck the country. This was part of their plan from day one. And Mr. Ibrahim Barry, they watch. Welcome to the show, Mr. Barry. They say most African politicians think politics is a money-making machine. And Ms. Abi say amen, amen, and amen. So maybe if we get any phone calls from that, then I will just continue for break some things in that. So they go. Okay, seems like we're not getting no phone call. So if a phone call come in, I will try for stop and allow the person make them give their own views. But the code we just say, I want my people to understand, say, because I don't do on social media so much than 2 days here. It's appalling for where this report here come out. We have plenty Sierra Leoneans still, home and abroad. What we jump on, the first thing we jump on, we begin to defend. We begin to defend the politicians them and people in our government about this here will happen. That's not the first thing we do. As soon as that report come, what I see, APC supported them, begin to SAP supported them, when I don't thief. SAP supported them, begin to APC, I don't thief. Nobody in most cases not even stop say, whoa, why we the citizens not go come out first and think say waiting happen and why it happened. Instead, we begin turn, we immediately turn lawyers them for the people where then they put we country down under the oil. We not turn this as we not even make this as a national discussion. No, immediately turn to political discussion. The politicians the way they involved in this. A single one come say, hey, then like wheel or this and that. No. They all say, let me go for a lot of figure out who said this here wrong. All man when they call, then they're the country. We the supporters them touch this one and begin to run the go with them. We get a phone call, so let me pick up the phone call. Like I said today, I will make one do most of the talking. Or we come at the end of the show. Let me go and do my own closing because today I give more for Mona. So will they take the first call? Good evening, caller. What's your name? Outside the call from, please.
Mr. Ibrahim Sisse from California, Mr. CEO.
Good evening, Mr. Sisse. How are you, sir? Welcome to the show. So, what's your own take on this topic tonight, sir?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you plenty thank you. You able to give me, a preface because a voluminous, report. You get for take time for you go able to digest them. Because also, it's so elaborate to get different facets, especially we get for do with corporate business. So nothing we get for take time for people and we will analyze the report and able to come out with something we reflect the report to, But just like how you say, now that's everyone begin with, say when this year come on do, we see the Sierra Leonean populace and go berserk, and they resort to attacks and they blame this and they blame this. We don't see, of course, definitely not people that do the act, either APC or SLPP because they're two parties that they exchange power, So, but the Auditor General's office, they don't do their own work done. And we get for commend them for the kind job we didn't do. And they report the thing according to how it happened. It left to the ACC now, we don't take up the case for make let them pursue their own side. We now for mountain investigation and find out waiting happen, waiting at the lab system. Who are responsible? Who are not do what it's supposed to do, or would do some yuki business, So the ACC now ain't gets the burden of proof right now because all man they look forward to them. And we hope see them we're able to do a very diligent job this term, and then we're able to make clearly because this now another test case. You see, because it's so controversial the way people think because, like I say, this person they blame this person they blame this, until we get a factual, report from the investigation we ACC did, and we don't actually know how long that will take. And then secondly, how they will update we. Now, then they update we from term to term, how then they carry on the investigation, which they pull do, or now we don't do all the investigation and compile everything on canter. We say, okay, we don't find out, we don't do our job, now this and this happen. Now that we feel say we happen, now this we investigation direct we, And then that thing then will maybe prescribe within the penalty for people them we misappropriating funds and So they look forward to the ACC for see how how vigorous then will mount the investigation and how then will inform with the public, whose kind of channel we then will use for inform with the public, and how then will inform we, whether they will give it on a quarterly basis, periodic basis, or not just after we don't do everything done, and then will, make the public know which are their findings. So that Namion, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cisse. If I can only 1 minute on the phone, because I'm not seeing my way, you know much about money business. And I think that you do. So how you feel, say, in the long run, we're going to minimize the NTR and it will be easier for the Auditor General report, the team for them to be investigating NTR faster, and then how people, how we going to minimize them kind of way, we country for people not able to do the NTR all the time, because it's not only continue for a long time. Now we don't get more transparency now. We with the CM, but we not see them continue for a long time. So how we going to minimize that? What's not your take?
Well, that good. You see, information technology they evolve, and so rapidly, And I'll not go too deep into the report, but waiting like I be the expect the report will come up with, at least for give slides. Like PowerPoint presentation slides that we will make you will get graphics that we will display. In fact, then it will make them easy for people able to understand, and we able to interpret, then better than some people in the read. But when this tier come do now the tier we go able to know which side the thing happen, which side the problem is there. And because now they will able to look at who side the errors in there, who side actually the porous areas then where you will need for fix, and how you go fix anything in there. We need for employ, new modern way of conducting maybe internal audits, and we can only do that when you get, like a centralized database, then you see people, cheap, but at least over time, it will pay out a lot. We go see the dividend, because the way corruption, they prevail consistently over time, and people they get away with it because we don't get any system them in place. We go actually able to look at, we trace within, instantaneously, we were able to pick up something wrong. Oh, something is going on in this place. Or if it happens, we can able to trace back. It's easy for them to be able to trace back. So you got to make sure, say, you create that mechanism there. We go able to trace. We go able go in if you instruct whatever software we use. Say, okay, I want this information at this particular term, And then you also get an encryption. Then let's say, for example, the Ministry of Internal Affairs. then we'll get a limit as to how then we'll get into the database. Or when it all tabulates information into the database, an encryption will come up. Once it's done, you don't enter the information we need for enter. And the system, they ask you if you don't finish, if you don't do all your assignment, or if you and like now double security, which is a signal they can, for let you tell the system, say exactly yes, go ahead and store this information. So once you don't store that information there, you want to manipulate that information there, you forget not to one layer, maybe 2 or 3 layers. For scrutinize the system, for ensure there is, a proper security, now the system itself. So now that way I feel say we can able minimize, then corrupt practices there, then leakages there, so, then misappropriation of, funds there. You see, and then also restructuring, monitoring, constant monitoring, apart from the digital aspect, but the people that are really in charge actually get to be diligent enough for ensure then do their job, judiciously and able to get a report. Because timing is very important. Because first you will see that they take file from Bobga and Kante McKinney within that period, a long time. You see, so you get for decentralize also the system. Even when you get a centralized database, but you get forget the feeder, stations them where they feed into the central system, so that you go able to get that information, able to interpret the information, instantaneously. So now that I feel say it will help. There we need to go through the kind of problem there in the future.
Well, thank you very much for that detailed explanation. Because somebody like you, you don't work in a financial world, I think say you will find one to they tap into on our brain them and on our expertise, and so that we continue able to come out of this bondage. We all don't see how much bad leadership don't put us with it after 58 years of independence. So if we get structure, because the whole thing that we all know is a structural problem and an institutional structural problem we get. Not to say majority of people are bad, but when the institution bad, not all bad. Until we fix the institutions, we're not going to fix none of them there. And we need things nowadays, because with technology now, we know so we get plenty of things nowadays will be easier for put them into place.
Yeah.
So again, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree with you. The people and also, I believe say not to all man, but you get people and they actually they get the experience, in all the areas and but the ethical aspect also, and it gets a variety of other segments we go provide that interplay for ensure we able to get thorough return on the public investment, in terms of the country in finance, So people get for actually get the institutional knowledge base, and processes, because the other two, we abuse processes them a lot, and whether Sunday lack of the experience in other areas and the people that are competent enough for actually able to handle process, because when you falter at the process, not just like math. Once you falter one side, you see error or go, So you got for ensure there is a system where them processes then they go be streamlined, where they will actually able to perform, because you forget a performance index. We will show you say yes, this thing you don't satisfy this process. You see, but we can tend for kangaroo, we can tend for loop over them processes. Then we not care too much about them. We say, but forget about that. Like even the person who wants, no, the person says in the office will say, no about that, So all then so there are challenges out there, but we get to start from somewhere, little by little. But like this one, I wake up call, and I call to action, Now within the investigative arm, when at the ACC, we get the mandate for investigate and know waiting happen. Now, then get for giving her confidence to say, okay, at least we get faith in the ACC, which they tell we, and then at the end of the day, the recommendation or whether they able to prosecute people and find people we responsible for the, issues there, so then problem there, so then we will continue from there.
So next question I want to ask you before you go, because I know I don't hold you for too long at the line. Let me say, if we go to like credit card kind of stuff, we use less of cash. You feel that will be to get some of the problems because of people don't will use more. We know say electronics always left blueprints compared to papers, and because in most cases I remember the last time where the government just take over. Every day you say ministries and they're on fire. People in the bond the ministries and they know if they bond the files them, they're not able to trace them back. So you feel say if we then begin use more of electronics currency, that will help again, or you just say will try to manipulate the system as well?
Well, it will help, but do we have the credible infrastructure? Because remember, say even the banks them they issue them cards then they now not to tell like how we they use them now so efficiently, and because remember say not to for just go no more the bank directly, you can even do your online transaction. That's also it relax the system. It make it increase productivity. You see, because you go limit the burden on people where you want to conduct transaction. You see, if actually the infrastructure they able to set up the infrastructure, we're able to capture people information and securely. Because that's not the other thing again, let people not go infiltrate the system, But how it gets for start from some side, just like the central hub, we now like the auditor's office, and then we look at which can get for be the benefits, and the acceptability also within the Sierra Leone, population, how the market structured, how the market based it, we ready for actually able to use credit card, or debit card, or digital, currency. You see, that's the only it go help, but you need the infrastructure. You need that. You see, but if you not get it difficult for you go able to see that it take root. You see, because right now, when you look at even like the cryptocurrency, the blockchain, and they all now way for caught on all the problems there we talk about so right now, because accountability go there, because it's easy for you trace, for you find out, what's I owe the, or even for create alerts, notification. It alert you right away. Hey, something that happened. This year they happen. This year they happen. So it takes. It takes the infrastructure, the base, for you go able actualize that kind of program in there, so that you go see the benefit from.
Well, thank you very much for this lengthy analysis to it on Giwi, and I believe say the people in the government go listen and see how much they will implement modern advice, because it's a big big money advice you get them for free. So, and I believe say as a Sierra Leonean, we say thank you for that, and we appreciate the call. And thank you very much again for the call.
That's true, because the again for start right off from the central bank, how they go able to handle land versus waiting and no use for no, and it's so it takes more than just then other banks they really, because members in the central bank, of course, they control the country in couple how then they make banks then local banks the way they are able use the kind of money with them for use, and also security and all that thing. So you therefore take all the one into consideration.
All right. Well, thank you very much again, and I appreciate the call and the advice. I believe say we go try to implement. Then we try to implement some of the things here and see how much you go help, because we know say we got to start somewhere, and we infrastructure are all broken. So we need to start somewhere. We need to put foot on one domot first and try to raise the other foot up. But again, thank you very much.
Like you will get somebody. Let me say, na Gendema, na the border point to Liberia.
Yeah.
We sometimes if you want taking papers, it come to Bo or Kenima for letting come process in payments. You know, but with the digital, currency structure, you go able to once you get a smartphone, you get coverage. You can able to use them, enter in account and see waiting happen, and then if anything go wrong, of course, you go able to take responsibility for incorporate because you get the tool line and because that you want to do for let people that actually able to make their own decision as and when they like,
So what are the costs for them? What are the costs for them here? How much is it will cost the country though? What if is the cost for the wire? How much it will cost the country?
How much it will cost?
Yeah.
Wow, now big couple, bro. I don't tell you right off the bat. but now big couple, but you see, waiting you go want for do the government get so lapses than the way we need for fixed force. Now like when you build your house, you only get strong house, you get from the foundation. You see, so we don't forget like the various structures them. How you go able make sure say they all function, properly, then complement each other. Because at the end of the day, now students here they work, then they capture information from the various sectors them. But they were only able to do that. We then get that symbiotic kind of interaction there. Back and forth. This will communicate to this will communicate to this. The Ministry of Finance will communicate to the Ministry. So until you set up that infrastructure there, it go hard for you just begin out for I mean you go do it like Canadian banks they do it small banks of course, but for it become like the system we that people money use for conduct transaction. That's the issue. If we get for start for like internet service, if they all about the country. You see, if you will make internet accessible and affordable for people there, then you will begin to see other things that they come inside. There's a lot of things we for able to achieve, but without the internet, when I the source, it was difficult for them to be able to achieve anything in there.
Oh wow! Oh, thank you very much again. This one are plenty information I believe we go digest as a country, and then because we not go cure the disease if we not get a diagnosis. And say,
like even what I cure that is, I for able then I pay for me container, I go everything, I not did it,
Yes.
I for able to drive from any location where they, not to say pass I go there. So you make the system is so easy and frictionless. You see, so you will get the return and you will be more productive, and the performance base also, will be rewarding.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's right. Because I mean, another thing with the pipeline is online, and then they come to. So again, I think we need to involve so the cyber side of this one though, if they go at that point today, what do you feel say would be the cyber security side of it?
Well, of course, that's all the kind of package because at the end of the day now, they're able to conduct, secure transaction, let people able feel safe for use the system. You see, because now one thing anyway, easy for. I mean, you can play with anything, but people like couple, for play with it, We don't need that country where they see any small thing happen. They see, I mean, and they go into class action, and the business you always want to settle out of court. But how long can that? So then they spend more money, for encryption, for security, So now I make you see them all companies there, cyber security, companies there, then they make more money because you want to make sure say you transaction portal, is more secure so that people then will get faith in conducting business using your platform. You see, because if anybody will conduct you see, we get with security. Remember, say that we get for pay for all that, you know. So like any transaction we then conduct, we happen, the the security company will get something out of it, you know. If you able
now
pay
they
them
can't
advance,
go
but at least they get for paying.
into the political side now because I know see you know man where you know about the political system in Salone. So what do you think about the fight against corruption where the president say he launched and then with this kind of amount of money where he lost, where the administration right now they empower where we go say in the 8 months then self lost some money even though not get the full report full investigation it. But according to the report, what's in your take, your personal view for the fight against corruption and its administration?
Well, the thing is, the government for remain committed. You know, it's not easy for clean a system up. You see, because something we don't become endemic. For there, you go clean them up once and so it don't go easy. But the government, now for such example, you know, the one the way they government position. And then for tell we say yes, they're ready for fight the corruption, you know. And if which are also like this government here for do, I know it's guy for compare anything, but like we do something, but we didn't have the communication side. Government if finally the interface with the people, like you know something, and they don't wait let the government, let the public, you know, opinion overwhelm, you know, your responsibility for communicate and relay information to them. You go and do it, you know, and that the same thing like public relations. Public relations is you can do damage control or someday in a tactical, you know, structure. If something where just happen, where like you know, is spontaneous. You know, you get how you handle them. But if not something way systemic, you get how you handle them. You know, so the government get for really reinforce that side for make sure say the communication unit, you know, is prudent enough for actually able to inform the people them as to certain things the way they happen. You know, I believe I know as government they get, you know, something the way they don't want to share with the public. Yeah, that of course, the government unclassified, you know, or something be classified, you know. So, but where it can find something way now of public consumption, let the people understand one thing, say yes, now so thing happen, and this government they do before we allow the court of of public opinion overwhelm. So, because if people they don't make their own judgment, it don't become so. You can now later on come in. It go take for the people and you know, and people they're free to their opinion, you know. So the government actually get for demonstrate to yes, we get it for fetish corruption, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Because I believe now plenty will not take them seriously because they not say major person of the government it's with a reprimand for corruption. So at this point in time, if we look at my people talk say well, they come against the opposition, but where's the one of them you do something, they don't do nothing it. So I believe this is a big test for the ACC. Because now
also just give everything to anti-corruption. Anti-corruption SF now human beings then SF gets their own, you know, then limit. But who are the governments now? Who are the centerpiece? Now, una for take responsibility. See, as we as a government, now we stand this. You know, when I go on the offense sometimes, now they just defend. When I go before things then they get bad, when I go and inform the people, when I educate them, say okay, now so, but now these governments don't do, you know, when they instill confidence, you know, in the populace. Say the governments they do work, but then here they can happen sometimes. But now that make government not in one grade operate with get arms them way they all get their various responsibilities. You know, so we allow this particular army for let them discharge their own duties. And when they camp on, let we as a government, we take we own rule, we can take them. But for now, we no one begin make sure let it not be like say, you know, we the stage manage or people that begin suspect say we will do this. No. One then other arms they let them be independent, let them operate, so that when it can pan, we as a government can able to. I mean, just something like that. You don't get any. You know I mean, it would the system, no. Now, for just make your own position clear as a government.
Well, yeah, because if we remember then a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks, so a month ago about this, the chief minister and issue, up to this day, nobody now comes and give a full detail about the whole thing, like a comprehensive or then allow the chief minister to come out and answer questions. So me feels some things here, they hinder the process because why are we getting afraid to come here? Why are we getting afraid for coming in front of journalists and answer the question? Nothing wrong for the chief minister come and put camera before him with journalists and ask them question, answer line by line, people question and clear all doubt. So if things like that don't happen, nobody not come out. In fact, when I get nothing from now, only the ACC boss come out and say can defend them. That not install confidence in people. There. What do you think about that?
Oh. Yeah, of course. Now, the same time you talk, you got to get in a situation where you get to be proactive, make sure you get after government work, you get to make your independent judgment, and look at from the experience we don't get to this year if I ambulance so waiting will be the reaction, or if this year don't happen so waiting will be my next move, so that I lay the fears way like people and get. And therefore restore the authority of this office here where I occupy, So, but if you let them, thoroughly address them, and people can still go, with their opinion or their feeling or their perception about what happened, So, if I let them talk more like a slender interface with the people, so that the people will feel this government here, it actually, it open, and they don't get anything for hide. Thank you so much.
Thank you again. Thank you very much. I got another caller, so make I go ahead. But I don't hold you for a while. And thank you for all your inputs. And I believe people then will take to consideration. Thank you again very much, Mr. Ibrahim. May God bless.
You're welcome. See you. Bye-bye.
All right, sir. Welcome to VUS caller. Good evening, caller. What name also you call from, please?
Hello?
Yeah, welcome to VUS. Good evening, caller. What name also you call from, please?
Yeah, good evening, CEO. How you doing?
But sir, how are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm named James. I call from Virginia.
Mr. James, so what are you going to take on this topic tonight, sir?
I listen you talk with the gentleman will be on the line, and you make one of the comment that really because I joined the whole program late. But you make one of the comment where really make me call in for no. You make comment about the chief minister.
Yes, sir.
He said the chief minister ever come and really clarify whatever in one side of the story.
Yes, sir.
Would they put emphasis on chief minister coming out clarifying and what is the story? As far as I'm concerned, there's no story because that journalist, I was against it, the way he was treated. But where is the story? We are talking about 2 months now. This is not happen. Where is the story? The journalist has the story. Why can't he bring it out? Now the public appetite don't wet. Everybody wants to see the story. So if there is no story, how do you expect to hear the chief minister for camp? Just somebody making allegation for carry act or something, there is no story. You see, one thing, if we really want to be fair, we have to be fair to the country and to the people. We have to be fair to the people. If really, if not a political point you want to score out of the chief minister's story, at least say we as a journalist or we the people of Sierra Leone, we need to ask, where's the story? Even within build up the story, how can somebody be suspended for $500,000 and go bribe for 1.5 million? Does that make really sense to anybody? There's a lot of things that and you and I know say, even if chief minister, however don't he is, stupid he is, they can bribe him with through bank system, then there will be an audit trade for trace that particular transaction. There's a lot. You see one thing, I don't know why we I think we feel Suriname should be more intelligent than this. Whenever people they really talk about this chief minister with them, if there was anything, the way the journalists have been treated, it should have come out with a story. But we are still waiting. There's nothing. Why are we making history? Why are we making things that is nothing? Just a stop press the journalists came out with. So my brother,
you're okay for coming?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, the reason why I make her being the chief minister in Yun, first of all, we talk about fighting corruption in the country, and the chief minister and now the number 3 man of the administration who will talk about the ranking. So if somebody can make them kind of bizarre, like how you say, a bizarre thing, they will not get nothing from the journalists. I believe, say, talking to the press, now one of the biggest things that way will help for take Bokutin out. Because most of the stories some of what they get now still not from people outside, will not get no first-hand information from either the chief minister or anybody else we careful do with this tier. So what I tell us is now, when they talk about transparency and accountability, nothing wrong for the chief minister coming. So when I put to come in and ask me any question you have asked me. So anything wrong with that?
I believe say the chief minister as a public servant, you need for interface with the people, with the public, with the press at any time. But not in this way. If I'm the chief minister, I will not. I will not, because the thing, it doesn't make sense to me. And I believe that most Surinamese, unless politics will not make you blind, it doesn't make sense to a lot of Surinamese. Because if you feel say there's a story, and really the journalist say it be the edit, now the chief minister respond no more, the thing was get all the facts, all the interview I've listened. And because of the chief minister not give you whatever, you stop that story died there. Does that make sense to you, my brother? That's story for
but
that
the point is now, this story not going to go away. It's not going away. As much as people don't like them, people don't go for narrate them. So if you not can't change the trajectory of the story and can't talk to them, people will say, hey, I'm not doing. The man himself not come out and tell people one-on-one, say, I'm not doing. So what I tell you is now, you now public official, like you say they talk, so it not means it cannot make sense to you, not make sense to the other person. I hope you understand what I mean. So sometimes they need to be proactive. Now they tell us say, therefore be proactive. Not for waiting for the narrative story for you all the time. You say for they come out and talk to them. So I hope you understand from Musa the comment.
I believe I know who say they come from. I believe say the chief minister for the camp time in, time out for talk to the public, because now he make the PR. And even information minister, but this particular story, does it really make sense to any Suriname without political point scoring? Does it really make sense for say that story, if there was a story in the hands of that journalist? Where is the story? Why the story died down? With the treatment where you don't get. As you say, now it don't wet the appetite of Surinamese. To me, or if chief minister come, it takes 100 years to explain. If certain people they don't never believe, they never believe. And I believe say those who say there is no story and there's nothing to chief minister for explain, believe say there is nothing. Those who believe say and for score political point, for the chief minister for explain, if we explain 100 years, still they no get for believe and they will keep on scoring political point. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you very much. At least we get a very good dialogue and discussion. So I appreciate you calling. Thank you very much. God bless you for the call. I appreciate that, sir. I think I got another call on the line. Good evening, caller. What's your name? I'll say the call from, please.
Yeah, CEO, this is Momodu, the call from Australia.
Good evening, Mr. Momodu. Welcome to the show. What are you take on the show tonight?
Now, three pointers I get here. For let we able to solve this problem at SALONE, because it don't be a systemic failure. Yeah. We get for lead by example. We need the political will, where we not able to forget it. Because if you get somebody where you put in a position of trust her with the entire money where the country gets, they give you procedure way for follow. If you need something the way for do before you access them. But you know do I just take them and use them. That's an abuse of office, and that's not thievery. very bad for country. For we get people who then trust, then take oath of office, when like a way swear say, why didn't I will do all the right things, but yet still they do the wrong thing. That's one. The number two, I think Mr. Ibrahim from California highlights that this use of card instead of for the pass money na people hand. I think that the system you already don't do a SALONE, but it's too young. They see that they do this Airtel money, Orange money, anything and they. But all that you get forget the infrastructure, the sustainable one, where everybody for able to get electricity supply for the charge your phone. Because all what you need is a smartphone. You know, you need a smartphone, but if the smartphone you get a light no day for charge them, then you're stopped up, you know. And like where you highlight, say, with credit card, they leave you, they left your footprint. So anytime you swap that card day, then we will know what you spend on. Like this lie within the lie, say, I know will not get paper for this, I don't spend this money, but I don't get receipt for it. With that kind of system, they able to tell we who say you go spend the money. If na night club, now there you go spend now, we go know. If na strip club you go spend now, we go know. If na hotel you go spend now, we go know. It happened now we come together in Australia. 2007, with then Prime Minister Kevin Rudd. By then, na even be the shadow minister for foreign affairs. He been going to New York for some kind of meeting. He end up to go na strip club. That's in the during campaign where you have to become a prime minister. That's in the surface because what you do, not so physical money you na card because I go na the strip club, na card is swap. So the Australian government able for no say if they use this card for go na strip club and they're able for trace that. I think so that's not the other thing where we for introduce another country day. If the government sincere, they're honest, now then sincere and get what they do for we. That then go able for the ministries there, all the MPs, and then go able for whatever they spend, we go able for know who side they spend out, what they spend out for, when they spend out. But the way things they so when they take bulk then give. We don't live from donkey to now. 30 days are the same thing. And then long camp, then campaign say, then count with change, transparency and accountability. So now that kind of system here we can expect then people have to put in place. But if they don't count, they wear the same old suits, then they wear socks, then they add that and pan just for a fit panel. I think say SALONE, we are still in the ditch. We're not ready for commodities because the people who want to lead they don't get the political will to do right. Because Mr. CEO, for do the right thing, it takes a deliberate action for do right. For do right, where you know use it doesn't be like somebody we not sabi lie. Like we picking the whole born na them country how find yourself. You know say they're not a lie? They're not a lie. Anyhow you convince them for lie, they will always say but that no, this is not what it is. They will tell you the truth. But post we don't plan the lie. For let's stop for lie. You know easy, Mr. CEO. So it gets to take a deliberate action with them people and they for them because we don't give them the authority for lead with. You know, they don't kind of beg we say, no, we give them the job. They're able to one in a new direction. But if the new direction look worse past the old direction, I'm afraid. So we need to speak up, we need to stand up. Now, time this way, if the government is ready, is sincere enough, the mistakes that they don't do now, they need for correct them, then they for institute measures like this. What they talk about? All ministers, everybody, they for use cards. So then we're able for trace what they use. Because no matter what you do, we go know who side use them. This that me small thing I put there and for Kergo the program will be put. Thank you very much for the good job we you do and God bless.
Thank you very much, sir. May God bless you too. And I think there's somebody else on the other line. Welcome to the show, caller. Good evening. What's your name? Outside the call from, please.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening, caller. What's your name? Outside the call from, please.
Can we talk? Me na Marie from Kuwait. Normally known as Marie Kuwait.
Hey, Miss Marie, good evening.
Talk to the government,
yes,
President Bureau. They tell me for change. They not say we follow go behind back, na follow go before. Then if we change Anescoma, we put President Bio. If we don't put President Bio, we put a follow the country go before. Then now, the way how the country they go so, we don't afraid President Bio because we can't tell them Anescoma come on a power. President Bio they can't make the country. Well, if Anescoma will pull up and President Bio can sit down, we not see no need to make a pull Anescoma. Where any President Bio can sit down. So do you with the President Bio? This kind where the country they go, this kind where how money they go, do you let them try find out about everything? Let them hand over give with money they back. Because you know what the broke up Africa put on a place, that's for country. No need no day. So do you me mama and papa, they not get much work for talk. Because right now I get joined on my life. So I tell God thank you for viewers. What did they do for me yesterday? Yesterday my birthday, they all call me and wish me happy birthday. Anyway, I really appreciate viewers. Let God bless you all on the viewers. Let God provide and guide you. What you do? The good job they do justice to viewers. Mr. Atayo, may God bless you. I love you so much, you and my brother. This was no more. Much love to you. And I appreciate you what you do for me birthday. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And we say thank you to people at the Viewers Forum because we know so we get plenty of people at the Viewers Forum and you know part of the day. So they all appreciate you and we try for and look at when Abokuna get this birthday. So they try for which you are all happy birthday. Then December beginning, you know, say when I get we have 7 December woman. So I wish you all a happy birthday. And,
yeah.
So
thank you.
You're welcome there. Have a good one. Thank you for calling. All right, thank you. And also
thank you.
Welcome there, yeah. And also we got our sister back, Miss Abi Kamara, and said na in birthday today, so we wish you happy birthday and God wish us blessing. And like I said, on the December woman day, it's my wife's on December woman, so you know, in don't celebrate on at the beginning of the month. So again, but again, I'll get back to the issue at hand. Really, like, if anybody call, I will stop because I know, like I said, I'll give you the time for now until me closing, which is about 20-something minutes from now. I know I'm going to be on the 2 hours. Like where we talk about, let's be the caller, they all on call and they all make salient points there. I know say today, plenty of people expect I will come bash, but not today they bash. I get for wait for us, where the reports don't come out. One thing I don't realize is Saloma, we're not patient. Everything we turn on to politics, and that make easily we'll move forward if we make everything to politics. We get to be more tolerant to each other, and we get to be fair to ourselves. Follow we continue to move forward. Then can report here where it come out. Me family them. I want like we look at Sierra Leone and them. No look and say Tifman, not get party. No, not associate none of them people here where they do the wrong thing to any political party. If we do that, we will do well for Mama Salone. But if we begin to associate then the behavior, the bad behavior to a political party, what we do, they find a cover for bad people and for make them go able to develop. Because they know say if they go do the wrong thing, they can cover them. Then get people in a social media or in other areas and where they go turn free lawyer for them. Then go fight for them even they not get no clue. In fact, some of them people are when they fight here, so then they suffer 20 times more than the average person self way in our care about politics. So the point I try to make now is that we're not do with any justice. If we don't come on social media, we don't report here come, we all don't begin turn the thief man into we own thief man them. It not they help we out. So when they report here come, let we make sure say we give the ACC all the support we they need. But at the same time, we're not a full hand and full foot and watch the ACC man and the guy going every day for the rivalry. What made the ACC know say, take money for lost a country they say, so they suffer. We know they take them today, we're not going to take them tomorrow. So now we give them all the support we they need. But at the same time, we're not going to relent in the fight against corruption. We eyes are like mountain fat foot and make sure say any side where that reports the point in hand, we need to go thoroughly investigate that area. We not care who that involved. If we not go after the people and the way they come after when they ask the ACC. So I make one not say anybody will go only do that for fight this fight here if we not begin take side. Let we not take side for something wrong. If when I look this report cover both political parties. both APC and SAPP. I don't think say any one of who are decent people want to associate themselves with thief man them. Not to all politicians in the thief, but most of them, for right now, the image bad. So do you ask me, brother and sister, Mr. Colonial brother and sister, them. Let us now watch these two party lens. And I'm so happy where there are plenty from the one not say young people and way they belong to them political party. Then sister don't begin this, then sister don't begin they talk about it here. Then sister don't say no. We need for no waiting happen to the money. This is not so we go do. Now so we fight corruption. Now so we go push Mama Salone forward. Make we not allow politicians to make them take we for granted. So this message is still to President Bio. If you not say you're ready for fight corruption, President Bio, this is not a very good test for the administration. You may not tell we in inauguration say, you know, they take no, this is not business as usual. And this is not a different time for fight against corruption. This is not a very good test now. A very good test don't come on the table. We know say some people in the administration, they serve now account for some money then. So now we want to see if them people in there you go keep them in the administration or you go do something about them. Now that make with the ask parliament to now give ACC all the tools what they need. Because when ACC can give any excuse tomorrow say parliament hold me and or hold me foot. Let me could ask them. We know the last time people don't go vote, they don't go vote for thief money, they vote for people with dignity and respect. So we ask the institutions then, for how we fix them, we all get for all hand and together and say, we go fight this fight together. But if we begin to say SAPP and APC, that they make we lose focus on the fight. Because you get somebody when one party, when not this party, and all begin do this party thing, then they can't begin defending, no business for defend. At the end of the day, look who's we there. Look, we country. We not get water, we not get light. Even the roads themselves, there's no guarantee say then when they begin get pothole and begin poor, we'll able fix them. There's no guarantee say then 2 road we get to we will make unto 4 road or 6 road. The accident in the happen at Salone with all the then quota we don't get because of now one-way lane. When a main major road then to all the major cities there. Look the kind of accidents they get every day. This is not supposed to happen. So at least if we get good governance, we're going to make another road separate from that. We're going to prevent some of the accidents here. We need to get 25 electricity. The way Mr. Ibrahim say, we need proper internet, not to just the 2x4 internet where you get to go up the kitchen or you go and tap 2-story building for let get network. No. Now we get something like what other African countries get. If they get them, we still able to get them. But all that will only happen with good governance. So that's right now, like I said, we know they told them more right now. Then we continue for tear on them because when I watch the report, once the report say about 30-something billion, 38 or 39 billion, and that night happened during APC time. All the rest are doing SAPP time. So both sides of the administration, the people and the other administration, not so the all of the America say at the type of take me what in I know I generalize this report. I want to make sure say the people that were involved in the institutions today, where they hand them dirty, now they will rip out. Take them out away from everybody else and reprimand them. But one thing where we like me in general are not going to set much. First of all, President Bio get plenty mandates now because now your administration this, now you in power right now, and now you may not promise we say this time you go fight against corruption. From now to next year, 2020, April to May, if we're not hearing nothing, from the ACC, and if I say they catch people on both sides, we will get problems with administration. Well, they go on all the mandate and the support we want need for fight this. But their money are not small money. 141 billion leons, not to picking money. For let we this thing go cold. No, it's not supposed to go cold. But we got to be fair. We're not going to accuse nobody right now till the investigation take place. And that makes some of we hold with gloves and back. We hold with gloves, make up then see we'll see the newspaper, they're not ready for beginning come out. But I would say that'll be fair, small to the administration right now. And tell Una say we could be a small. But again, we're going to 3 to 4 months. We don't know how long this investigation is. But when we can't tell we say this investigation will take 2-3 years. No. Then money they chop them inside shooting. 1 year and they chop this money here. 140 billion they chop them inside 1 year. So at least They don't do the reports. They don't suicide the lapse in it. And the reports don't show so many things that they need for know. The areas them. People that are in charge of them area them here. So do ya with the tell now. We need for an example for sure say we move forward. People them will not get hospitals them because of corruption. We not get amenities and what we support to get in the country, but let the country move forward. Because of corruption. And this one don't show is a blatant corruption they go on, hide. The another thing back away and it's about to me boy the other day. We thank you for transparency because not all man is shooting to go on. The disadvantage on that side is that people when they give you the money. Okay, we get a call on the line, so I will hold up now. I will continue my thoughts when after we get because today, like I said, the upper hand. Good evening, caller. What time outside the call from, please?
Yes, Mr. Tawale, this is Alaji Umar from Philadelphia.
Mr. Alaji, how are you, sir? If you go to turn the volume up small, I think the volume low. So please, I'm going to hear you. Welcome to the show. What are you on take on this program tonight, sir? Mr. Alaji, you on the line?
Yeah, I didn't on the line. I type for
yeah.
Did you get me now?
Yeah, you go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I just want to respond. I'm the listen, although I come very late. I'm the listen, but I can't meet up Mr. I don't know very well in name, but I think he called from Virginia in relation to the chief minister. We
yes,
the chief minister not for attend to the call. The reason why the chief minister is supposed to attend to the call is because the chief minister is a public servant. Now the people they work for. Now say in the answer to other people, but the people necessarily who they support them. That don't make can say you need for talk to them people in there because now allegation don't come. And people they don't accuse about something. So let's come to the public. The people who make history and not go sit down there for himself. They sit down there because for do either policy or something where they advance the country. So if something come up, it need for come to them people and then for say, okay, this not anything about me, but now so or not to so. But for say the chief minister not for talk, I don't think that is correct because you not go sit down there by himself. You not just grab no go sit down. Now people they represent, now people they did. That's one. So secondly, in relation to the audit report, I think they say for now they need hold nobody responsible. I think they for hold somebody responsible. Say 140 billion missing, meaning before hold the government responsible. And who is the government really? First, the president. Yeah.
You don't answer?
So now I can try for it because we need for people are responsible. Now we not they need to generalize the thing. We not go say this, but we get people in the sense the government and the president because I'm the head of the country. See they say 140 billion missing, something wrong, and now people are somebody with the whole responsible. So in India for expander now. That and the way expand them, at the end of the day, we will say, okay, the president will get hands, they will get hands there. But for now, everything will put a squarely in it. What did they go on at the country? Because they really come in the platform for say corruption day and for can fight corruption. And we don't hear so many things that would happen. Either the Minister of Finance use money with Parliament no approve, or then the corruption will begin here from there. In another side, in another country, then, if I will stand trial right now, or even resign because you don't do something where don't go against the constitution of the land, because you don't go use money where they now approve for you. And also, I don't know if you remember tried the way in the finance minister begun at parliament in relation to the president about the travel, the money we're supposed to use.
Yeah,
initially, the speaker of the house not me they not the free for say in a part of the allowance, but because other MPs then come up with the suggestion by the speaker, the Minister of Finance totally agree that in one grade we make the decision that that particular thing here. I don't know if people don't be take notice that day. In one grade make the decision immediately for sure. Okay, they put up. You know, again, nobody, either deputy minister or other people, when a policymaker and a minister of finance, say, okay, let's go sit down with them people in there. Because during at that point when we go there, there not be budget for the speaker. But the minister don't think about it for say, this is not budget, this is not consumer, not people money. I know we just can't answer. But immediately, Concord answer say, yes, now it include the speaker. So people just they act more upon themselves the way they want. But that is wrong for the country. And people need to speak up. It's not about we again. Okay, people are already there. So many people will do well. But they can't see them and they continue to happen. You know? So I just want to make this small contribution, but so many things will happen. People need to speak up. And again, remember where the president come about one account. Remember where the ACC boss will talk about 10 accounts,
15
accounts. So all that need explanation.
15 accounts.
They need to explain to it. How many?
15.
15. Good. All that they need explanation because it doesn't go against the policy because the president or anybody would work. Then a policy statement. When they talk, I mean they protect them for talk. When they talk something, that don't mean a policy statement. So if they don't say one account, you can say 10 or 15 accounts. So it needs a lot of explanation. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Alaji, and I appreciate your call. God bless you. I guess somebody else on the other lines. Make I bring yourself in. So thank you again. Have a good night. All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to the show, caller. Good evening. With any else, the call from, please.
Hello, Nami.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the show. And with any else, the call from?
Okay, Mambu from DT.
Yes, Mr. Mabu. Good evening. And what you want to take on this program tonight, sir?
Okay, what I want to thank you for this program. Yeah. What I want to for talk is that okay, although we go for wait for the ACC report or we don't wait for waiting, Madam Bioga for do about this year. That I know they do, but we're disappointed. For me personally, I'm disappointed because now we don't support this SAP. They don't kind of power. They don't kind of power. We don't gladly for them everything. They don't promise you all about transparency, cutting down on corruption because we don't say corruption is not going to done. Cutting down on corruption or fighting against corruption, but like say all the promises that they don't do it, they even work. Because even the Ministry of Finance, according to the report, they say the money where they go ask for or where they be allocated to them, they use way more than waiting they be allocated to the ministry.
Yes.
So it's like now this all be the big Mr. Yusuf Safa they go and talk say this on account whatever impress. It's like say now for that there with the reversal. Because if we don't see that they can't fight corruption, then this kind of thing happen. Even the Ministry of Information, all this year, even the Ministry of Information, they go spend how many million from pictures of the president. Because I be listen to the guy where they talk. If they go spend that kind of money, then the people in the suffer. People will not get water in that country. Light no day. Even food for what they don't promise. We take all up to this time. Also promise. They just they go launch. All the launches we don't launch. We don't see nothing. They don't implement nothing yet. So now also promise. Then when they go and take that money there, it's not like say I don't know who says SALONE they go. Up to now, I don't know who they go as a country. But it's not like no, we don't even get leaders in another place. They will like the country. It's not like say everybody will they come now for in your pocket no more. Because I think they are all be talk against the former government. But it's not like say and the same thing will continue again. Even with the supporters of SAPP, we don't tire about this what they call it. But what, like when you don't talk, say no wait, no give it to no give it some time. Like the ACC and even the executive, no give it some time. Okay, we'll wait and see. Now see what they go for do. Now we just hope say let them take action against whoever is involved. Let this channel go so. Because I'm money we talk about now. And that's what I'm going for saying for now. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and let God bless you for that, because you make a very, very excellent point. A fine way to come up from a supporter of the administration, so that people don't, because sometimes if another person don't go saying they attack them unfairly, but you find like somebody will vote for this administration in support, because we talk about patriotism not get anything for the party, they get for the country. And I believe the majority of people that vote for this for this government, they vote because then the government can make promise with them and believe in 100% say they can change their country for we. So yeah, go ahead.
That may not because of the party of itself, but for the country. For the country level, at least people they at least you say well able for talk. We say other people they talk about their own country. You say well for talk about your own. But that say we not able for do all that thing there. The one who they put before, then they just they go for themselves. I don't know how they go as a country. I don't really know.
Thank you very much. Like Maka just help for, because you make a point help for clarify that many people don't understand. You make a point about money where the Minister of Finance go take, couldn't Parliament not approve and what about 30 billion billions.
Yeah.
They're not made by them budget. They're supposed to touch that money, they then go take them. And secondly, the president, some people don't talk say, well, the president can travel, then go use money for impose study. We know that big money, and not get the full figure, but also in billions of leons. So this is not in a way them very, very troubling, because we say money not the country, where then come and say the country been bankrupt since independence. So if we agree, but then when they spend money now with no accountability, I think say this is not something where let me talk say trust me with the way they gloves them, but we need to be fair to them small and say, no, we see whose action they take. Until the finance minister will take 30 billion, no, we see what the president will do. If the president not touch him, you not say nothing, then obviously we all agree saying I ain't going to send for take him. So then we will come out. But again, thank you very much for the call. Yeah. You got anything for add before?
Like we don't call for the president for let he pull this Jacob just Maya, because that like say this Maya in the place for just to corrupt the whole system, because the trend at which we see the things and they go, and then today they come through in your office. That means in segue it is part of the corruption. It is part of corruption business. So I think say it's time for them to pull that money. Let them investigate them and let them pull them. If they find out guilty, because so they not to in, so they not bother them. But let therefore investigate this year. That they will go glad for that if they investigate. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution, and may God bless you, and you have a good night, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Family them, like I say, let me see. Yeah, I got about less than 15 minutes. I will try for do the closing if I not get any call. Again, I tell me what I think because I don't tell you look at, and I don't tell they talk about. We look for people who are patriots them. This is not about political party. We look out for anybody who touch any of them on here. We not care. Okay, we got another call. So make a go ahead and because I get 15 more minutes for the close, so make a go ahead and pick up the calls them. Good evening, caller, and welcome to viewers. What's the name of the call from, please?
Yes, good evening, Mr. CEO. This is Nabindu from Kansas City.
Good evening, Auntie Bindu, and welcome to the show. What are you on take tonight, man?
Thank you. To me, my own take on this issue here is very troubling. The amount of the amount of money we talk about now. I mean, not to just small chicken change. If the country dry, people then they suffer. Money not day. Then you hear people and they spend money like a kind and they. Then I mean, we wonder how they get for fix this country. How would the country go fix? Now me on question, Dandy. I mean, not to you, but we all as patriotic citizens then. No, we think how this country go fix. I mean, we since where this SLPP don't come in power, it's all about spending money. Money then they come, but waiting they trickle in, if waiting they come out big part in the kind side. I mean that accounting they not get for balance, so you not get for balance. I mean, you don't take that. I mean, let ancestors you don't even think about them. They say nothing not been there, but people then they spend big money then they lost. Who that way they keep account? Who that way they keep record? So we're not getting anywhere. Sad to say. But no, we don't know we wait late, we'll see what thing they will come up with, whose answer then they will give we. As people then way sit down, way have up say the new direction come for change the direction or the narrative of what thing we done they happen. You know, I pray to God, lay it be say na mistake, the number then they will be, but if not a mistake, then we are not getting anywhere. It's sad. I mean, don't take that. I will not feel discouraged, but it's not promising at all.
For real.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Auntie Beanie. May God bless you for your comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. May you have a good night. Family them, I know say Saloma we quick for forget. Some of we can quick for vex until one of the family say they go on for election. We put everything down in wrong and can't defend the whole world. If we go for fight corruption at Salone, we got to be truthful. To be safe and to be country. If we want for fight corruption at Salone, we get for all people accountable. If we want to fight corruption, if we want to make Salone move forward, any advice, any campaign promise and give, we need to take them with two hands and sit down and tap and make sure that they accomplish every single thing and tell we. We're not going to do that if we're in a bunch of hypocrites into we stuff. It's not going to ever happen. Why I say this, we the people who always suffer, who the people who complain, now we can be the first one at it for go defend. Now we'll be the first one at it for go attack people then. Now we'll be the first one at it for go cost people then. Even though the money will go up, we're not getting for it. So I send this message to we first. I can always say this. Salone will change if we the people will not change your attitude, will not change your behavior, will not change your way of thinking. God not come up, can fight for we. Not to God come up, can make white man country. Because sometimes I can hear me boy, I can feel say white man in different pathway. They're not different pathway. The only thing different between a white man are the attitude, the tenacity, and the belief. The only thing different from more in them. White man not the sit down. If you say it go spend 8 months na church or mosque, it go play small and work small. We they play all the time, but one accomplish you not go work. You get for dirty one, you get for do something. Not get me wrong, religion not nothing for do this. But with the same one, they go say hallelujah or say Allahu Akbar. Now with the big one be the first one for begin cause, bad by cause and not it. We come to politics. Me as one person, I don't lost plenty respect for plenty people. I mean respect for we come to politics. They mean so get dignity until politics come inside, not different people there. So my family, my brother and sister them.
Cotton Tree Pharmacy is your new trusted provider of pharmacy services in Sierra Leone. You can count on Cotton Tree Pharmacy for genuine quality brand name and generic medicines. Guaranteed refills for prescriptions issued by doctors in Sierra Leone or abroad. Door-to-door medication delivery service in Freetown and beyond. Free health education. Have you heard about our Diaspora Medicine Connect? With Cotton Tree Pharmacy's Diaspora Medicine Connect, anyone can pay for your prescription online. Bring your prescription to 17 Pademba Road. Collect an invoice. Send your invoice to your...
Again, family, no sorry, me me to put my system on your side. But we get a call on the line, so let me go ahead and get this caller. Good evening, caller. What name say the call from, please?
Good evening.
Yes, sir. What name say the call from, please?
Yeah, and my name James. I come from Virginia.
Oh, okay, Mr. James. So go ahead with your comments, sir.
Yeah, just question to me, brother. We come from Philadelphia. He made comment, reacted to my comment. I'm not to say Chief Minister not be get right for answer the journalists in court. What thing I say at the on? I say, if you're a Chief Minister, for now, I will not even comment about whatever, because if the journalist he get any fact about this story, he has to bring it out. But not bringing it out for say he doesn't know fact. But let me just comment on the auditor report that just came out.
Yes, sir.
I don't take any time. I don't read most of the that report. And most of the money missing and not accounted for, it occur with the procurement system in that country. And if you are fair enough, not just talk, if you love Sierra Leone, take your time and read that audit report, which just came out. You will find out, say, most 90% of the procurement system that is missing, you will find out, say, now procurement we started in 2017. Please, let not just begin shout or begin put close for FET, which I FET or mutuate. I wonder when I take that time, read that audit report, and most of the procurement systems, it started in 2017. Like I will forward, since this CEO, the new procurement director, whatever they call him, this sorry guy, you go find out, say, in procurement system, he get a clean bill. The auditor general get a clean bill. That's what we call a new system in place. And now, all I would refer today, when there was a stock taking, and the chief minister and others bring out a report about 2017 beyond. Now, obviously, the chief minister don't get right for, say, it was a cabal of reckless or whatever. And I wouldn't talk today, say, would they blame this government? And that's the reason why we have a one inquiry in place for find out. But most of the voices are here today, and the voices are where did they put close for fact, say commission of inquiry was not necessary. Don't just begin shout. We need to read it on the general's report. Don't read that and check. What are we talking about? I believe that a similar report which came out. Chief Minister and others wrote our stock taking. That the past government was reckless in our resources in that country.
Okay. Mr. James, like come back in quick. I think they mix two things in here. The chief minister and the GTT reports, the GTT report and the chief minister they right. And then secondly, this one annual report.
I don't get that first one. I don't get the first one.
I said the chief minister, the one with the chief minister made the GTT reports one day, not so the auditing reports one day.
No, I'm not mixing that. I said a similar. The Auditor General report will come out. It's just similar to the chief minister in stock taking reported right for say there was a reckless system in place, procurement down to use of our resources in another country. That's why the government started with
I just want to come in quick because if we educate the people, allow getting the right information. This report,
yes,
like I said, why open me, what you say, the Auditor General, they say this report, what it again, totally for 2018. Not that reports, the only 2000 that's a comparison. Every year in the pull report, every year I get new reports. If you go back and watch, you go back online and check, and each year I get a new report. This report, 99.9 to 100% of what's happening from January 1st to 2000 to December 31st, sir. No more
okay,
than
my brother,
beyond.
do you know how procurement system operates in our country? Do you know how procurement system operates in our country?
If they fall within the budget, sir. The yearly budget.
Most of the procurement now, they therefore occur 2020. It has already be bidded or in place at this time. So the 2020, all the wish for implement the thing, it has been bidded because of the bureaucracy will be already in place. So when they don't award the contract, you as a new government, you know, can cancel. So I would not want to just begin talk, put close of it. Let me read that report and take note of the procurement system where in the huge amount of money is not accounted for. Let's see the procurement from June, where in the new procurement officer, CEO, they get, and the past one. Let's see, let's compare. For say, this Auditor General give a clean bill of lading, a clean bill to the present procurement system than the other one that was in place. And that means they say. But yes, okay, 2018. But where this thing started?
Well, what I want to tell you now, say the government will in charge can get right for seize or withdraw any procurement if they're facing in our rights. Like we say, this is not responsibility of any administration. Like I say, why begin me progress? I say from January to March, when the elections and APC may in charge. Anything happen within the area, they fall on APC. From April to December 31st, it fall on the SFP government. So, yes, so
if there was a contract in place, a procurement contract in place, that's what. It's not. Yes. There was no document in place, so you don't come. You're right for council. When it has awarded to somebody and it don't do partially, like 90% of it have been done.
Like I say, so you can get for doing, but that don't mean say them go do in most cases, but then get it if you want to do it, then if you all right. Because when the court talks allocates the budget, Parliament already allocates each year, like 2020, they don't already make Safa in Parliament recently. They don't allocate the amount of money for go to Safa already. They don't use it in 2019, and 2020 for user, and then just approve the budget now and work on now. 2020 and then they start for user. So anything from January 1st, December 31st, that money then I fall within our budget there for 2020, sir.
I'm not talking about the financial year. You're talking about the financial year, but I'm talking about government and continuous process.
Each year gets new money in Spain. This money lost in 2018.
You don't award. They don't award contract. Contract say this, and who want buy, and people don't don't award the thing. There was no supporting document. The general come in a contract say this contract was awarded so date. If you check out most of the contract that was awarded, it was 2017 and first quarter of 2018. Now they supporting document on the huge amount of money lost without supporting document. Enough because the general say the eater or the thiefer. They say there's no supporting document for this amount. But go check out and read.
I read the reports. I'm not considering more. I get them before I get them. I get most of them.
About awarding contract. How much money we lost in the first quarter in 2017?
They're not, like I say, I don't. They just put them in bunch. Now they're going to go to the investigation. Now, this one then just do the investigation. I mean, then just look the budget, then look how much they give and how much they spend and how much not tally. So then tell you the difference.
I'm not talking about budget. I'm talking about the general report that came out that we are talking about here.
The money now part of the budget.
Budget of what?
The country budget for that 2018 now part of that money there. Now so then get the tally of the total money the government give and how much loss.
The money, this money we talk about, it's not like somebody go thief and there's no supporting document. That's why the Auditor General say. Also,
so it just assume say in a job. Your boss can give you money for do something. They say because you not get documents, so you're not responsible for them.
Oda.
At the ask someone always say there's no supporting document and just say the neighbor account for them. If your boss can give money, say go spend at this social project. Then can audit you. They say another document for responsible.
All the south say they pull they pull when the system came, when they found out say the procurement system they didn't follow the procedure. That's why these guys were fired. If you read out of the general report from June, where in the new procurement officer came in, there's a clean bill for him. So let me say at the time we say we share and we same up the talk say this new government have and then they go sack people there. Then they go remove this. So and this report there when they come in, it don't justify why they were removed.
Thank you very much, sir. I think people may not get your point. I appreciate your call, but thank you very much. All right. All right, Family, we'll carry up. But again, I thank God when I say me brother because now that argument the plenty when they make. But again, like I tell you, when me brother just a bit around because this self no certainty the same, all right. All right, that one not lost any other year now from January 1st to December 31st, 2018. You know, and I can make any excuses that I make the ACC supposed to investigate, no matter which government may be in place. The ACC in job now for investigate people that wouldn't do the wrongdoing. Period. We choose leader them for make decision. From April to now, even if somebody thief in January, President Bureau administration get the right from reprimanding people and arrest them and take the law taking due course. So this not got nothing to do with procurement and other thing. Procurement gets a part of that budget, not just procurement. Where I read them are shown at different areas, not just one area, and a bunch of areas where the money lost. So again, we don't go beyond our time. So like I said, I don't go beyond the 2 hour, but I don't go 6 minutes above. So I go left an hour, and then as we get more reports, we can because it's not just starting. We get for continue with more and more of these reports again, but putting get for come out as we go. Again, I tell you all, thank you. May God bless you all. May God bless we country where we all love, and we pray for we leaders them, and we say for the Lego cover we all. And also pray for the network that God will make move forward and good the right people and follow we push on forward. Again, I tell you all thank you for our journey tonight. Stay blessed and stay tight. And good night, everybody. See you us before Christmas. Thank you all for calling and giving comments then. And good night, everybody.